During my time in the Solomons, there was a period of time I was actually sent out to a very remote island called Malu, which happened to be the home island of the militia leader of the Matina Jewel force, a man by the name of Jimmy Rasta. 2 weeks into our time in Malu, we're down at a beautiful beach that was holding a produce market, when suddenly a speedboat full of armed militiamen stormed ashore. And you could literally feel the atmosphere at these markets change. The fear sort of hushed over the crowd because the Matina Jewel force had been accused of notorious, horrific crimes. And I was actually surprised at Rasta, because he was actually a part of this as well. He was on board the ship. I expected him to flee the scene once he'd seen us. We were all carrying weapons, there was a whole platoon of infantry, but his sheer arrogance, he continued to meander through the markets and even approached one of the Papua New Guinean soldiers and asked, "Who's the boss man? Who's in charge here?" To my absolute horror, you got it, the soldier turned and pointed to me. And so I then came face to face with the militia leader. Rasta continued to surprise me because he then, in perfect English, welcomed me to the Solomon Islands and asked if I'd be his guest of honour at his welcome home Rasta party the following evening. Approvals were granted, and the following evening, in still what is one of the most bizarre situations of my life, I attended this party as the date of the Solomon Islands Most Wanted. And as a result of our attendance, the federal police were able to then track Jimmy Rasta and his men, and a few weeks later they were arrested and charged with numerous crimes. But out of this rather absurd situation, I learnt probably the best lesson of my entire career. And that is that no matter what organisation you work for, or what level of the management chain you're at, there will be times when you need to lead, even when it's not your role or responsibility to do so. You're simply going to have to jump in and take charge of a situation and have the confidence to do that. Don't ever underestimate the role that you play as a leader in your own organisation, nor underestimate the support that you might provide someone who's going through a bit of a tough time, because it might just be your words of encouragement that helps them get back on their feet and have a fantastic future ahead of them.